everyone and welcome to another video. I saw some costumers do a costuming year in review and I thought that would be fun. So I know I'm a little bit late in January, I suppose. I still have my Christmas tree up, as you can see. But I thought it would be nice to reflect on the projects I did and all the events we attended to on this channel. So let's get started. So January is usually a very slow month for me costume-wise because, you know, you have the holidays and I always take it easy and always have a little bit of a dip costume-wise. This year is no exception, by the way. So the first costume I did last year was my walking suit, walking dress replica of an original one from the Met Museum. When I saw this costume or dress, I was like, I need to have that. So I made it. There's happened to be a casting call for extras for a new Dutch documentary about the history of the Netherlands. And they were filming in this specific time era, so I sort of had like a motivation to finish it on time so I could actually wear it on set and it be featured in a Dutch TV series about history. Anyway, I'll put the trailer down in the description down below, or I'll link it here, but it's in Dutch, so I don't know how many of you can follow along, but you can see like pretty pictures. And then the next project was March, which was a vintage dressing gown made out of a beautiful petrol velvet. It's comfy, it's nice, and I've worn it quite a few occasions when we're out for events and we were like staying the night, and it was just nice to lounge in instead of my, you know, usual pajama attire. Then we have quite a break in the timeline. April, May, and June, I also think I didn't upload any videos those 3 months, mainly because I had some health issues, which I've talked a little bit about on this channel. Some of you know I have some mental health issues, but last year was also big on physical health issues for me. I actually had to undergo a pretty big surgery, also my first surgery, which I had to recover from, and I was not able to wear a corset due to that surgery, so I couldn't really do much sewing-wise. I had to take rest, but also, you know, I had to take some time for the surgery, the scars and everything to heal before I could actually put on a corset again and do fittings or sew stuff. So there's that kind of break of 3 months from last year. And then the first project I did after that was also from the Met, actually, a jumpsuit, Victorian jumpsuit, which I also, that's usually the case with me whenever I see a fashion plate or an actual museum piece. Usually I can't explain it, but I just have to have it or have to make it, replicate it. It's a feeling I can't really probably describe. This was also the case with this jumpsuit, which I actually made for, I think, our first event since, you know, when happened. It was a little bit still unsure if it's going to happen. We had to do quite some like testing and follow the new rules that were constantly changing, especially because we were abroad. So yeah, I made the jumpsuit for a Victorian Olympic ball, which is in Epoque, which we always go to every year. Yeah, I'll put the link to the making of the jumpsuit in the description below, also of the walking dress that I mentioned earlier, and a link to the event video, which I'll link everything down in the description down below if you haven't seen them, or you still want to see them, or you've already seen them and you're like, you do you. Next one is an event. Sorry, I have a little cheat sheet here, I'm not gonna lie. We had a Victorian picnic, which is also something we do with a bunch of friends. It's hosted by Myrte from Atelier Nostalgia. Usually we do it maybe 2, sometimes even 3 times a year. But in last year, 2021, we did one at Zypendaal. it's always nice to just hang out, relax, chill with friends. That one was in August, so usually we are quite dependent with the picnic on the weather, which if you live in Europe and you know the weather in the Netherlands, it's pretty wet. Moving on, this was I think my biggest project last year, and I think also the project I worked on the longest, mainly because I started working on it before I had my surgery and did little bits of hand sewing while I was recovering, but couldn't really finish until I was fully recovered. So this was, and I absolutely love this one, this is my 1830s Mulan dress, which was part of the historical Disney costume challenge, which I'm still not really sure if it was a challenge, but anyway. Yeah, as you maybe know, I am a huge fan of the 1830s. I am also a huge fan of Mulan because heritage. But yeah, I could not unsee the 1830s silhouette in the pink armor, so I had that envisioned, and then that challenge came along and I just had to do it. I don't know what that hand gesture was. Anyway, that was absolutely such a fun make and made me explore with new techniques, especially like the leather scaling and stuff. Sort of more work towards the cosplay aspect, turning like a 2D character or animated character into like a real actual 3D costume. Then once that was finished, we went to an event called Elfia, which was a fantasy Renfair-esque event here in the Netherlands. I participated in the costume competition and I won, which was also nice. Yeah, and it was also nice to like, again, do the events and just like meet up with friends, because the friends that we hang out with, the historical balls, are usually like a different crowd than from the Renfair friends. So it's like we hadn't seen them in quite a while, which was nice, and hang out and stuff. Next up was the annual Tweed ride, which was, I think, the second time or even third time held in Breda. And I decided, pretty stupidly, to wear my Met walking dress. As the name suggests, it's a walking dress, not a cycling dress. And yeah, I didn't want to use my modern bicycle that had like a chain guard on it. No, I had to use my vintage bicycle that doesn't have a chain guard on it, with as a result that I may have caught in between the chain and the thing gear with my dress 3, maybe 4 times. Luckily the dress wasn't physically damaged. It had some like oil stains on it, which I was able to remove with some soap. But yeah, lesson learned. I have some fabric of that left, so I might even make like a cycling pants, secret pants to go with that for the next time I want to cycle with that. But yeah, that was fun. And then came October, which was insane. October sort of turns out to be the month where everything happens at the same time. So we had 2 events going on in the UK, but with 2 weeks apart. Was it 2 weeks or a week and a half even? So, you know, and also with the restrictions, it was quite a hassle to arrange that, but we did manage to do that anyway. We went to the 1830 soiree, and yeah, I mean, come on, it's the 1830s soiree. It's like a whole weekend in a fancy house with friends, and everyone's dressed nicely and having some fun. So that was a really, really cool event, and the ball and the dance master is amazing, and Isabella is amazing for hosting it every year. Well, every year. This was the second time. So yeah, we went there. I didn't make anything new for that. Did I? No, I didn't. Because I already have a lot of 1830s, and I couldn't really... Mulan wasn't really, you know, in its place for that event, so I didn't bring her. And then I had a week and a half or whatever was in between those two events to make and finish the Bustle gown, which was last week's video about. Because I had such, well, I already explained that in last video, but because I was such a short time, I just wanted to mainly focus on making it and getting it finished in time, than to, you know, film the whole progress and make a video out of you guys. Because sometimes you just want to like do the thing. So yeah, I made that bustle gown for that event. I literally finished hand sewing on the closures while we were driving up to the venue, like on the actual grounds, per usual for me. Anyway, there I got to wear it for, which I've also talked about in the last video, was a private party for Isabella and Lucas's 10-year wedding anniversary, where we also met up with some other Costubers and we did a fun archery competition, for which there is a video on Isabella's From Prior Tires channel, which I will also put in the description down below. And it was real fun, and I really liked doing archery and stuff, and I really want to do some more of that. Then we're already in November, and November is usually the Winterball At Castle de Ursels time. Unfortunately, they skipped last year because reasons. I modified a dress or a bodice and I made a new skirt to go with it, which was an old opera costume, which was really fun to do. Usually I'm not really comfortable with black, mainly because during the years I worked in the theater as a dresser, I had to wear black every day, because when you're working like in the wings, you can't be seen by the audience, so you have to wear black, which, like, wearing black for 3 or 4 years in your life, just kind of done with that, I guess. It's a phase. So I wasn't really comfortable anymore being so much in black, but in the end I really liked the dress, and I want to wear it again to an event, which I'll also talk about in a bit. So in between those projects, I did a few like alteration things, like I got vintage dresses that I mended or did little alterations on, because I'm switching my personal wardrobe from, I was like more like the, not really pin-up, but like 50s and like swing skirts and everything. And I'm slowly transitioning that into more true vintage, like the 40s, like original pieces, but also going even further and doing much more history bounding, so long wool walking skirts. So I made a few of those in between projects and stuff. But I mean, they're skirts. I've made so many, I think, tutorials about skirts that I think you guys get the gist of how I make my skirts. So I didn't really feel the need to make videos about that. Now for 2022, the costumes that I'm gonna make are not really set in stone yet, because it really depends on the events that we're going to as well. One of the first events that was supposed to happen was the costume market. We tried to plan that like early March and February, but I think we're just out of another lockdown like a week ago, and it didn't seem safe enough for us to organize that at its usual time. So we're actually looking into it, like moving it a little bit further into the year, but still trying to see if we can organize it this year. Then I think the first event, if we're going to, I think I want tickets for this one with the previous one. We'll have to look into that. Anyway, which is Elfia, which is the fantasy Renfair event that we went to last September. But it's held 2 times a year, once in September, which is in Arcen, and once a year in April, and that's in Haarzuilen, which is actually quite nearby. So we're probably gonna go there. I don't know if we're gonna go 2 days or 1 day. We'll see. I don't know what I'm gonna wear. Maybe I'll wear my walking dress from the Met, because I just really love that one. Anyway, I'm definitely not going to make anything new for that. Then the next one, let's see. Yeah, the next one is another prior attire event, which is the Victorian ball in Bath. I have clothing to wear, but I might make another Belle Epoque ball gown because I just really love that era. Not gonna be black though. And then we have another fantasy Renfair event, which we've been to previously and taking you guys along, which is Castle Fest. And that's usually in August. Again, I don't know what I'm gonna wear there. It's usually pretty hot. I might wear Mulan again because I can only wear Mulan to like the fantasy stuff, not to anything historical. So I might wear her there if it's not going to be too boiling hot in it, because it is leather and it's got many layers. But anyway, and then it's already October, and it's time for the 1830s soiree again. So I do have plans to make a few new things, mainly for the mornings, for during breakfast. I want to make a banyan from Elfia with a smoking cap, and I want to make myself an 1830s robe or wrapper, whatever you want to call it. And then it's time for the Winterball again. We don't know what this year's theme is going to be, so I don't know if we already have stuff or if I'm going to make anything. And if I'm going to make anything, I don't know what, because I don't know what the theme is. Same is for Epoque, which was also the Victorian Olympic ball. They're going to move it to more like a Christmassy ball. So I'm guessing it's more Christmas themes, but I don't know what the year or the era is going to be. So we might also have stuff for that as well. Usually Melchior is already pretty good on costumes because they don't change as much as the lady silhouette, but yeah. So all in all, 2022 doesn't have much yet in store, but I'm sure it will fill up pretty quickly, and so will my sewing schedule, I suppose. So yeah, I guess that was my year in costuming review and a little sneak peek of what this year has in store for us, which is not very exciting. There is one project though that I look very forward to in doing. I don't know when it's going to happen though, but it's going to be a surprise. With that said, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.